Yeah, I thought the bye came at a really good time. We had 3 really tough weeks, mentally and physically. So gave our guys a chance to just kind of get centered a little bit. Came off our first win of the season the week before, so was able to ride that momentum into the bye week. Had a great week of practice. We felt we're able to rest some guys and get them closer to being able to play this coming week. We know we are back in conference play against a feisty Alabama A&M team that is playing, better every single week. And so got to be ready to play, ready for a 4-quarter football game. Got to have a great week of preparation. And these guys are recharged. And I had a great practice yesterday and got to stack a few more together before the Bulldogs come to town, and hope to continue our home winning streak here at Bragg.
Appreciate those comments, Coach. First question goes to James Hill.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good morning, James.
When you look at Alabama A&M, it's a new look ball club. Mr. Glass is not there in the pocket, but just talk a little bit about what you're seeing from A&M.
Well, you've seen a team that's playing better every single week. They played 3 really tough opponents. UAB is one of the top teams in Conference USA. Troy, obviously, doing some great things there. And Austin Peay is a really good FCS program. And so you see defensively, they're getting stronger every week, giving up less points. They play extremely hard. They're all over the place as far as where they come from defensively. So you definitely have to be ready to pick up various pressures. They're going to challenge you, getting your face to play man-to-man. And for us, that's kind of been our Achilles heel so far this season, just being able to win those one-on-one. So it's a great challenge for our wide receiver core to see if we can create separation at the line of scrimmage, for the O-line, see if we can pick up their multiple pressures and protect the quarterback, and then for Jeremy to see if he can be accurate with the football. And so we definitely have a challenge on that side of the ball. And then their offense, obviously, when you lose a player like a Quill Glass, it takes you a little bit of time to figure out who you're going to be identity-wise. I think they're getting closer to that. And so obviously our defense has our hands full to make sure that they don't find that identity against us this weekend. So all in all, it should be, a really great matchup. 2 well-coached football teams, 2 teams that, still have a lot to play for, and should be a great one.
Coach, the Rattlers, are all the guys back? What's the latest on that? And just talk a little bit about the health of your football team.
We're still waiting on a few guys to be, cleared. As far as health goes, no new injuries. Still have a few guys banged up from the Albany State game. Running back, we're a little bit wounded right now. Everywhere else, we should be in pretty good shape, So hopefully we can get a few of those guys back. We're obviously going to need to run the football this week to be successful. But aside from the running back group being pretty banged up, we think we're pretty deep everywhere else.
Thank you, sir. Have a blessed week.
Thanks, James.
Next question goes to Zach McKinnell.
Zach McKinnell from the Bluebloods here. How are you, Coach?
Hey, Zach.
My first question is on the defensive side of the ball. One of the major transfers you brought in, Isaiah Major, has played a big role these first few games on the defensive side of the football. Can you speak to his development and what you've seen from him these first few weeks?
Well, Isaiah's a guy that brings a lot of tenacity to the defensive linebacker core. He's a very fast individual, very instinctive, and plays sideline to sideline. So he's made a ton of plays for us, and we're going to need him to continue to play at a high level as we get into conference play. Obviously, the competition gets a lot stiffer, and teams have a lot more familiarity with one another, being that we played each other every year. So we got 3 games on film now that teams can scout him and game plan for him. And so he's got to continue to play at a high level. But right now he's playing really good football for us.
And this weekend, you have your second conference game with Alabama A&M. They've shown a few different quarterbacks over these first few weeks. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges of trying to prepare for multiple quarterbacks going into this weekend?
Well, obviously, you game plan for the scheme, and then you try to get a good beat for what they're doing schematically when each guy's in the game. Coach Taylor does a really good job offensively for them, has so for a really long time. And so I think it's only a matter of time before they figure out, who their guy is and what to do with that individual, at the quarterback position. So we'll have to be ready for a little bit of everything. We know where our stress points are with the calls that we make, and they're going to try to attack those. So whichever quarterback's playing, I think the job for our defense is to know where we're vulnerable and try to make sure that we take care of those vulnerabilities and don't give up big plays.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Dr. Cavill.
This is Dr. Cavill with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Coach Simmons, how's it going this morning?
Hey, Doc, good to see you.
Always a pleasure. You talked about one of the things going into the season I thought was the depth of your backfield and the talent. But with them being a little banged up, you look at the last matchup and thus far for A&M, defense is becoming a lot more solid and kind of where they hang the hat. But it seems like you'll be able to run the ball on them. Is that something you look at, or you're going to try to be more balanced in this game? Without giving us the schematic game frame that you talked about, how you want to attack this team?
Well, you always want to try to be as balanced as possible. For us, we've always been the same. We want to take what the defense gives us. If they're going to load the box and try to take away the run, we'll have to be able to win our one-on-ones outside. They're going to play coverage and try to neutralize the passing game. We'll have to be able to get a hat on the hat and get the ball to the second and third levels, and then allow our running backs to be dynamic against the unblocked defender. And so for us, it's about, again, quarterbacks making the right decision with the ball. It's a read option offense. So he's got to read the defense and make the right decision with it. And if that's the case, then we should be able to effectively move the ball up and down the field if we win those one-on-one matchups. When we get matched up against a safety with a running back, we got to make that guy miss. We get one-on-one matchups outside. We got to be able to create separation with our route running and get the ball thrown in time and complete passes. So it's not a complicated game. We make it complicated a lot of times, but it's that simple. They load the box. We have to throw the ball, win our matchups outside. If they play coverage, got to be able to get a hat on the hat, with the front and get the ball to the second and third level, and then the running back's got to be dynamic. And so that'll be our game plan. And if we can execute that, we like our chances.
Well, Coach, trying to make it complicated is how we sell the game. So I like making it a little more than that. But you told me the secret before, but don't tell everybody. Gary Quarles, as if everybody's listening, Gary Quarles has been really solid. He continues to be dynamic in terms of a back. And obviously, as you're trying to find out what you're going to do schematically from a quarterback, moving away from all different quarterbacks, what are your thoughts in terms of what Gary Quarles brings to the table, is able to get done, and what do you want to do to kind of nip him in the bud, if you would, not allowing him to get going?
Well, he's the one constant, right? You talk about a Quick Glass being gone. They lost some dynamic players from out wide last season. But again, he's that constant, he and Ibram. And so again, you got to know what those two guys are. And if they can get the run game going, that obviously opens things up, for their offense. So we'll have to be great against the run. He's one of the top running backs in the conference. And so we definitely have to try to do our best job to tackle well, get 11 hands to the ball, and, not allow him to have an explosive game.
Coach, good luck this weekend. Look forward to the matchup.
Thank you, Doc.
Coach Simmons, as always, we appreciate your time. We look forward to speaking with you next week.
Thank you, guys. I'll be blessed.